Hello and welcome back to Dicebreaker, where we have a very exciting preview because we are looking at the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, the board game, or the adventure game, depending on which part of this mod that we read. I'm joined by Chris from Modiphius, who's going to be talking us through it. Chris, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what we're doing today?
Hi, I'm Chris from Modiphius. I started the company with my wife Rita 10 years ago. And I now get to do all the creative stuff, which is very exciting, and show people games like this. And it is our second foray back into Tamriel, and particularly Skyrim with the board game. You may know, we made the big, awesome, amazing Call to Arms miniatures game, which is basically Warhammer with Skyrim, but like a skirmish game with cool 32mm scale resin and plastic minis, and it's a solo and co-op game. And now we decided to do the big adventure game. So if we jump across to Tabletop Simulator, this is actually free for you to download right now and play if you've got a copy of Tabletop Simulator, which is a great piece of software for trying out board games. And we've created this demo. It's a really stripped back version of the game. But it's enough to play the first of 6 chapters, and you can get hours and hours of gameplay out of this. And I should know, because I've been demoing it about 3 times every single day. And trust me, I would not want to be demoing it if it's the same story every time. And it's different every time. And it's amazing what people do and the crazy choices they make that lead to their death and destruction. I mean, happiness and joy. So we have two willing victims who would like to foray into Skyrim. So do you have an idea of which characters you'd like to be? Because there's actually 6 characters in the base game. You've got the High Elf, or Ultima, who is leans towards sorcery. Mm-hmm. You've got the Nord, who is the tank and brutish. You've got the Imperial, who's a bit lucky with treasure and a bit of an all-rounder. And you've got the Khajiit, who is your ninja, kill everyone before they move type character. We've also got an Orsuma and a Dunmer. And before people scream, where's the Argonian? Because a lot of people have been. In the Dawnguard expansion, which, as you can imagine, adds Dawnguard-y stuff like vampires and the Dawnguard. A whole nother campaign. You also get the Argonian, the Redguard, the Breton, and the Bosmer. You've actually got, with the expansion, 10 amazing characters to choose from. They've all got, a different skew of abilities, different flavor for gameplay. So,
we've we've sort of picked based on colour, because I'll just pick whoever's yellow. So I'm currently playing as the Nord, so I might as well pick with that. Meehan, are you happy with your Imperial?
Yeah, hi, I'm Alex Meehan.
Sorry, we launched it.
Yeah, I've been sat here very quietly and patiently, waiting for my cue. I just picked based on colour. I'm an Imperial. I might change that. No offense to the Imperials.
Big offense to the Imperials out there.
I find them a bit boring. They really are just the sort of all-rounder of Tamriel.
So do you fancy being a High Elf who's kind of leaning towards magic, or the Khajiit who's?
I'll be a High Elf.
Okay.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, I'm feeling very superior today.
Okay, so basically, I'll give you a quick overview. We've got a starting story here, which I'll read out for you, and this will set the scene and the game. So here we go. It's called Tainted Haven. There's 6 chapters in the base game. Think of a chapter as a scenario of the game. And there's 2 big campaigns. The first is set 25 years before the events of Skyrim. So this is a prequel that you're going to find out lots of cool canon and lore.
Oh my goodness.
Find out what happens to the blade.
Yeah, a little birdie told me that apparently we might find out what happened to that guard who got an arrow in the knee.
Maybe, yes.
I can't wait for that origin story.
There's loads of Easter eggs. So you meet all those people who keep saying, I used to be an adventurer. So like Mjol, for example, is going to pop up as an adventurer for you to join up with. So there's two big stories. Like I said, the first set of 3 chapters is a storyline set 25 years before, when you kind of get embroiled as one of the blades in this big threat against Skyrim. And then the clock is going to wind forward 25 years to the time of the Dragonborn, and you'll be a bit older, a bit crap, and you've lost. You had to sell some of your cool magic gear to pay for that hole in the roof. You needed a new horse for the farm, and you know how it goes. But you get to keep some of your skills and treasure, and then you get brought back into the story. So let's kick off though. Let's start the story. So it is year 175 of the 4th era. The Great War rages across Tamriel. A group of young Blades recruits go on their first mission, a patrol around the forests of Cyrodiil. A Thalmor ambush catches them off guard, and they barely escape alive. Upon returning to their camp, they find it desolated. The Thalmor have been here. Cyrodiil is not safe for them anymore. They escape to Skyrim, far from the Thalmor's clutches. And in Skyrim, the Reachmen have conquered Markarth, and tensions between them and the Nords are rising.
That's your lot, Meehan. Thanks for that.
That's me. Yeah. I'm the imperialist, right? I'm the ones coming in and being like, you guys suck. You need to follow our rules.
Yeah.
So, but apparently, I don't know what side we're on. We've got to find out, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, now here's the interesting thing: you can actually pick sides in this game. So clearly, with the events of Skyrim on the horizon, in the second campaign, you'll get to choose sides between the Imperials and Stormcloaks. That doesn't mean you're fighting each other. Much like, in the video game, you're kind of doing a mission for the Stormcloaks, but then you go to this Imperial town and everyone's like, "Oh, hi, how are you?"
They don't know,
and so you're not working. Yeah, you end up working together with characters. You all have to work cooperatively to defeat the big enemy, but you can still take sides in this game with Stormcloaks and Imperials, and that will affect the world around you and the end game. But it also, in the Dawnguard storyline, you can take sides with Castle Volkihar, because maybe you've become a vampire from your choice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, vampirism.
Oh my
really
goodness.
Or you can join Dawnguard, and everyone's got their own view of how they're going to defeat the big enemy, but you've still got to work together. Right, okay. This card just tells us if there's any special rules. There are no special rules for this chapter, but there's one very important thing. If a main quest card, you all have your main quest cards, reaches its, and there's a little symbol here with a little head on it, threat limit, the chapter is lost. Read card 2. Now, at no point in this game do you lose and you go, that's it, I suck, put everything away, go away and think about how bad you are as a board game player. The game just keeps going. So if you, in this case, failed one of your main quests, the chapter comes to a close and the next chapter starts. But you're a bit worse for wear because you didn't get to level up as much, you didn't get as much cool gear, and the next chapter is going to be a bit harder. So the story always keeps going. You never die and lose all your stuff. You never end a chapter. The game just gets harder, which is more fun. So let's grab. Now, as you can imagine, every game of Skyrim starts with you're kind of arrested or on your way to being executed.
Oh yeah, we wake up and then we look at a guy.
You're finally awake.
Says, "You're awake, are you?"
Yes. So we have a number of these cards that are going to start your story. Now, I want you to imagine there's so much story in this game, and actually, you're seeing all these decks here. This is actually going to be a beautiful little card box wrapped in that stone relief that you see at the beginning of the Skyrim trailer, where the dragon's eye opens. You're like, oh, there's dragons here. And
whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be a card holder with numbered cards, about 400 numbered cards in the base game, another 200. So these are the storyline that is going to slowly be drawn. The cards will get drawn in as you play. And every decision you make is going to affect the future of the game. The whole 6 chapters, the entire game learns from you as you make decisions. So be careful. Right. Okay. So do you want to, Alex, why don't you shout stop? And
Stop!
you were trapped.
Oh no, come on. I fell for the trap card.
Off to the Shadow Realm with you, man.
Off to the Shadow Realm.
And do you want to shout stop for the next one?
Stop.
You were arrested.
Yeah, that
ha,
tracks.
ha.
That tracks. I was in a tavern shouting Skyrim belongs to the Nords somewhere.
Yeah, and I caught you, but then I got trapped in a hole or something.
Right, so let's read your story, Alex. we're gonna make you first player. So the first player always starts each turn, and we'll draw an event card this turn because you're just getting into it. So there you go.
Okay.
Story.
Nerys, a traveling explorer, hires me to protect her while exploring some ruins. The place is quiet, and yet it makes me feel uneasy. Deep in the ruins, she pulls a lever, and a cage falls right next to me, failing to trap me. We both silently stare at each other. Her disappointment is palpable. It only takes me one strike to defeat her. A note falls from my attempted captor's pocket as she falls.
Oh my god.
Betrayal!
The drama.
Flip the card over, so we're going to see what happens next.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, a little bit more.
Nerys, it's been too long since we last spoke, and now I come to you asking you for assistance. I need you to keep some people secure in your ruins. Their names are on the back of this letter. I'll give you what you've always wanted if you do. Movai Kanai? Kanai?
Moiva Karnai?
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe? Yes. Yeah, something like that. Oh, on the back of the letter, I can find a list of names of blades, mine included.
Oh,
on the
gosh.
blade. Place your player figure in Whiterun. Way. We love Whiterun.
I'm gonna have to test my map skills now. See what I remember.
Yeah, here you go.
everything
Here's Whiterun.
Yes.
There you go.
Right, so now you've got a choice. This is the beginning of the pyramid of choices. And I wanted, so just for people to imagine, there are so many choices you can make and so many directions you can go. Think of this, the game, as like a pyramid. And Alex, you're on one side and other players on the other side. And you are going to make various choices to get to the top of the pyramid. And everyone's working their way through their choices to the top of the pyramid to this one big finale. But there's so many routes you can go. And next time you could play through the game and choose a different side of the pyramid, a different starting story, and see a whole different story structure. So so many options ahead of you.
I have these two options.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, somebody's hand is over one of them.
Ah!
That's
I'm
right.
recording.
Option 1, I will recruit a mighty warrior. Help me find Movai.
Moiva.
Moira. Moira. I'll reach out. Option 2, I'll reach out to someone wiser than me to help me. Do I want big or smart? I don't know.
Well, I reckon you think you're pretty smart, don't you? So...
Yeah, I think I'm pretty smart, so maybe I want a big one. I want a big one. Well, what about you, Wills? What's going on with your story?
Oh, we were resolving yours first, or should we move to mine?
Yeah, so we're just going to bring this
down. Oh, I just resolved now. Okay.
Yeah, and then we're going to go and pick equipment in a moment. So we'll do the Michael story first, and come back to these quest cards. And let's have a look at some dude got arrested this week.
Oh God!
All right, what have I been up to?
Typical.
For months, I've been rebuilding my life in Windhelm. One day, guards break into my home and arrest me for no apparent reason.
What?
I'm thrown into an empty cell and left there to rot. The guards show up drunk at night, celebrating my capture. One of them falls asleep to close my door. I can see the keys poking out of his pocket, and while he's asleep, grab them. I escape through the Windhelm jail. My path takes me to the barracks, where one of the guards who arrested me sleeps. I search through his belongings until I find a mysterious note.
A mysterious note?
Something tells me I know about the contents of this mysterious note. I like that I got the Oblivion intro, which is good.
Yeah, you were in the prison. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To all Windhelm guards, dangerous criminals are living in your midst. Their names are behind this letter. You must find and capture them. You'll be handsomely rewarded. Lots of love, Moiva Karnai.
It's Moiva!
I know.
Funny that.
On the back of the letter, I find a list of names of blades, mine included. Place your player figure in Windhelm, which is... Hold on.
It's somewhere around here. It's there. It's the bear one. Yeah.
The bear one. Which one's Windhelm? I remember Winterhold. Winterhold's the college. Oh yeah, no. Windhelm is the home of the Blue Boys.
The Lord Resistance,
God, I'm testing my knowledge here. All right, here we go.
It was 2011. Okay.
It's been a long time. It's been released.
It's been a long time.
It's been released every year
10 years
since,
ago.
but still. Okay, we have two options here. Option one, I'll get assistance to find Moiva Karnai, even if it's costly. Choose two equipment and card 164. Or option two, I'll seek the assistance of an information broker. Oh, that sounds exciting. Okay, I'm gonna seek an information broker with card 166.
Oh goodness.
Out of interest, sometimes you can get overlapping choices here. Maybe it's the same choice. Say Alex, and what would happen is you can't get the same card as her if you'd pick the same choice. You would have got, say, the next card. Like if you'd also had 168, you would have had to pick 169. Okay. And so what happens is her choice affects your future, your fate, and you go in a slightly different direction as a result.
Interesting.
Learns from you. Right. Okay, we've got two quests, but let's step up.
It's been ambushed by a Khajiit.
Oh, what? Oh, that's a classic. That is.
We've got all the starting equipment at the top of the board. I'm just turning them over for you. So
I thought you were talking about what was going on in your card, but no, Toto.
No, Toto the Khajiit.
Okay.
He has wares via the coin.
Yeah, both of you get to pick two pieces of equipment. So we have got a spell, the Sparks. We've got novice robes for the sorcerers, a longbow, an iron sword, an iron shield, an iron dagger, battle axe, iron armor, and hide armor.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna.
All right, okay. You just know yourself there.
Does the so for example, you've got a couple of choices, Alex. So
you
do have some ragged robes that give you a basic bit of armor. So you can either take the novice robes, which will give you magic armor, and they're easy to enchant and give you special powers.
Oh, I love enchanting. So
yeah, so you probably want a spark spell, but you could stick with the rags and take a sparks and say a sword as well. Like you can use two different weapons at the time.
A sword is beneath me.
I had a feeling so.
As a high elf,
there's the hide
I
armor
do not resort to such brutalities. So I will be taking those robes and that spell. Go. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Funnily enough, I usually, in Elder Scrolls games, I usually play a sneaky archer, but I don't have the option of a horseman here. Yeah.
A stealth archer in Skyrim?
Yeah, I think the Dunmer is very good with bows. And the way we treat bows in this game is, you can't do full-on stealth all the time, but you can. The bow normally gives you a very powerful first attack because, of course, you're sneaking around. You get one shot in and then you're in combat. So I'm just going to move your gear around. So I've moved your fists off. You don't lose your fists. You just use your fists whilst you're... Actually, the Khajiit gets claws, which is pretty awesome. So you've got your armor in one slot. I'm looking at Alex's card. You've got your novice robes on one slot.
It's there, yep.
The sparks in one of your hands. You can find something else. You could have a spell.
Right, yeah.
You've got a potion. Now, potions, they're not actually potions. We treat them as recipes. So you know how to rustle up a quick potion of healing given some plant components. And we don't have gazillions of components in this. We have 3 to keep life simple because we don't want it to be Skyrim, the accountancy game. And so you've got plants, soul gems, and ore.
I don't know about you, but I play Skyrim as an accountancy game. I take management of all my wheels of cheese.
And you can invest in the local merchants, can't you? So you could.
Yeah, I steal from them and then I sell it back.
Okay, so you've got your gear. Michael's got his gear. and we're all set. We've got the tank and the wizard all set. And let's have a quick look at your Alex. You've got your quest here.
Yeah, I've got to make a social choice here.
This is a first proper quest. So it says you've got to go to Morthal. Look, you've got a little quest marker on Morthal. I'll go and add your quest marker to Morthal for you.
Oh, yeah, we've got.
Okay, so I've moved already. Goodness me.
Yeah, so you're gonna.
Oh no, it's at Morthal.
Yeah, that's where you've got to get
That's
to.
where I want to go. Okay.
Yeah. And there's a little box underneath it which says 0. So what that means is the game's telling you you could do this at level 0. You don't need to be higher. If it said 1, then you might want to level up before you go and do it.
Don't worry, you
The other
scrub.
good thing is it's also telling you what the task is when you get there. You're going to need to roll a skill test, which is 3 dice, to get 2 of these circular shapes. If you had some soul gems, you could roll more dice. So the game is telling you if you want to reduce the risk of luck, if you go and get some soul gems before you go and do this quest, you'll have more of a chance of succeeding. Let's have a look at Michael's one. Again, yours is in Winterhold, so we're going to grab a quest marker and put it in Winterhold. So you know you need to go there. Again, it's level 0. And the test is a skill test, which would involve plant components would give you more dice. Now, you actually start with 2 plant components each. So you've actually got a bit of a head start there. So let's start the first turn. We're ready to go now. You've got everything set up and ready to go. You've got your gear. You've got your quests. The first thing you do is the first player draws an event card. So I'll just shuffle them here. So just right-hand side of the board.
Yep.
Just pull a card. Right. What do you get? What did you get?
Oh, what terrible things have happened.
Uh-oh.
Call
to arms. That's a game though.
This is it is funny enough. Funny that. So this is a quest that everyone knows about. Everyone can do this, and it looks like the companions are looking for new members. It's going to be a test of your might. Do you have what it takes to join their rank?
Sounds more like the kind of thing I should be doing. Right?
Yeah, I feel like they're calling on the wrong person over here.
Well, it's a world event. It's a world event.
Funnily enough, anyone have a look. If you can push, which means roll extra dice with plant components, and Alex, you're there in Whiterun, and you've got.
Oh, this is true.
Now, if you had one-handed, two-handed, or archery as a skill, you'd gain an extra dice. But it's actually pretty easy. You only need 2 circles. There's three of those circles on every dice. So I think you've got a good chance. And the only thing is the bonus is upgrade an item. Upgrading is a thing you do to armor and weapons. You can't upgrade your novice robes or spark. So if you did it, it's not quite as useful for you, but you would also shuffle card 1, 4, 3 with the top 4 cards, which is a good card. So you're adding in useful, beneficial events into the event deck. If you fail, Whiterun, the terrible failure of your test will send chaos into Whiterun. You'll degrade Whiterun.
You sucked so hard that the city is now in ruin.
The shop was shut so we're going to put this on we've got a little track here for World Quest on the left-hand side of the board. So we can have 4 of these at a time. If we get a 5th one, we have to automatically fail one. So now the other thing on that card, there's 2 little threat tokens, as you see on the story on the card. So we have to take 2 threats. This is kind of like the timer of the game, but I know some people don't like timers, so I'll explain why it's not as bad as you think. So every event card usually gives you 2 threat. You have to put that somewhere. Now, each of your quest cards, if you have a look, has a maximum of 4 threat. Remember that first card that says if any of your main quests reach their threat limit, this chapter is over.
Yes.
So you don't want to put 4 threat on there. But you could put up to 3 without risking failure. But you can also put threat on that world quest, that call to arms. You could put 1 on there before it fails. And have a look at the right-hand side of the board. There's a list of the towns. So these tell you what market decks you can buy and sell from in the towns. So some towns, for example, Morthal, you can only buy Path of Shadow items. So lighter armor, bows, daggers. whereas Markarth you can only buy Path of Might, which is like heavy armors and battle axes and things. And it also tells you which of the components are cheaper or more expensive. Now, the other thing is you can see it's got some threat markers here. Very simple. So if you want, you can put some threat on one of the towns. The first one will make it unstable. You won't be able to buy and sell anymore. The second one, the town is closed. They've closed the gates and you need to bribe your way in with 5 septims, 5 gold. And then the third one, the town's in chaos. It's rioting and now it's generating threats every turn, which is a very bad thing. You definitely don't want to do that. So if you don't particularly like a town somewhere, like, I mean, Britain sucks, you know.
Hey!
So if there's a town you don't particularly care for, you don't really know where you're going to have to go yet for your quests. But I'll give you a hint. We don't have the market decks in this demo, so it's not such a bad thing to close the markets. But you could share this out. You could take one each on your quest if you like.
If Whiterun riots, they might burn down the Cloud District, and then I think we'll all be happy. So,
I mean, I'm putting it on this world quest because I
why not?
don't care.
Got a freebie, haven't we?
Don't care about it. I do not need to join the companions.
Sure, exactly.
With their swords and axes.
Michael, what do you want to do with your? I mean, one of you could say it's okay. I'm about to do my quest. Say, for example, if you're about to complete your quest, then you once you complete the quest card, any threat on that card goes away. So it's a good way. You could say it's okay. I'll take them all because I'm going to do my quest this turn. So do you want to put it on your quest or maybe put it on a town?
I'm just going to shove it on Whiterun if we've got a freebie on each one. Then
yeah, why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
So the markets, for some reason, the markets are a bit afraid of there's some Altmer strolling around the town.
Yeah, I am being very rude.
I don't think they're afraid. I think they're more annoyed.
Yeah, like this guy.
Yeah, we're not selling you anything.
We're on strike until this guy who sucks leaves.
Right. Okay.
Why would you sell to me? You're a bunch of.
You've drawn an event. Now it's your time to do something.
Yeah,
I'm going to do something. Now, you can stay in the town you're in and do a town card. A town card is a way to get components. You'll get a challenge. You might get some rewards, and you'll then get a side quest, or what we call personal quests. Personal quests let you absorb more threats, so you can have up to 2 personal quests as well. The other thing you could do is move up to 4 spaces. So you could move towards your main quest. You could go to a dungeon. You could team up and do a dungeon together. But one thing you could both do is maybe get a town quest, so that will give you some extra rewards and components. The other place you can go is to a wilderness space, these green spaces with looks like little trees on, it's like a hill. So those are a bit like towns. There are wilderness cards that you get there. You also meet interesting people, get interesting challenges and quests. And then the dungeons there's different levels. The caves, which these are black spaces, these are the easiest ones where you're going to come across animals. There's the mines where ruthless criminals and bandits are hiding out. And then you've got tombs where, of course, the undead are lurking. Ruins where you're probably going to come across Daedra. And then, of course, the fearsome Dwemer cities where these ancient constructs of the Dwemer are lurking, ready to jump on you. So up to you. Do you want to do a dungeon together? Do you want to get another quest and maybe a little challenge and get some rewards?
I fancy punching a mud crab. What about you, Wills?
I'm always up for punching a mud crab.
Right, so why don't you move? Look, there's a cave in the middle here. You can both move. There you go. 3 spaces for you, Alex. Michael, it's 2 spaces for you. Just out of interest, the miniatures are 32 mil scale.
Wheels!
No, it's going well over here.
Not too much scuba.
So these match the same scale as our miniatures game. So if you had like a painted Nord or an elf from our game and you wanted to use them instead, they're all the same scale. And vice versa, you can use these miniatures in the miniatures game. Right.
I like the fact that my Ultma's expression looks very like
perturbed,
imperious. Yeah,
they're super detailed. Right, so let's move over to the dungeon area. Cue dungeon music.
I can't remember. I mean, that's fight. Yeah.
So we've got a little card here, which is called the Dungeon Challenge card. So there's one of these for every chapter, which tells you how dangerous the dungeons are and what you're going to meet there. As you can imagine, later chapters will be more dangerous and more encounters. Each of these blocks is an encounter. So a cave is 2 animals, whereas a ruin is a human and a Daedra. And then later on, you'll be having multiple encounters. So I'm going to draw 2 animal cards. So these decks are stacked. They go from easy to hard. So as you do more dungeons, you'll find more and more harder animals and things. So what have we got first? We've got a mud.
There he is! You classic, you boy!
Snapping at your ankle.
You're like, I'm taking damage. What? Oh, hello.
So this tells you there's a 0 here. He's a 0 level monster. If you were level 1, you'd discard him forever at the end of the game. Well, certainly at least for this chapter. Now it says if you can sneak, but you can't. You could try and sneak him and attack him first. So a Khajiit would come into his own here. He'd be able to try and sneak the mud crab. I mean, anyone can sneak if they've got an item that says sneak on it, but you don't. So who wants to attack first? Here's a bit of a secret, right? The armor and damage in the game is color-coded. We have light armor, yellow, heavy armor, red, magic armor, purple. And we have, no surprise, yellow armor, light damage, red, heavy damage, and purple, magic damage. The secret is don't try to do the same color damage to the same color armor because it will absorb it. So have a look at both of you, your weapons. The Nord can choose to do with his swing red or yellow damage. So his yellow attack would be beneficial. And the Ultima could do yellow or purple damage. So actually either of you could hurt this crab. Any preference who wants to go first?
Would you grant me the honor of absolutely cooking this mud crab?
So is it this this little red emblem here that tells us what the armor type is?
Yeah, so it's both hit points and armor. So he's got 2 points of red armor.
I'll give him a little swing. Oh, that's not my character. I'll give him a little swing with the old iron battle axe.
Hey. I said I wanted to cook him.
Oh, did you?
Forward
I said let me cook him.
Oh, I apologise. You crack on.
Whilst you were staring intently at the sharp, fine edge of your battle axe, she was already, I've got this. So now, first of all, Alex, you've got to roll for the monster. The monster always attacks first.
Oh, of course he does.
Well, maybe Michael can roll the monster dice.
Yeah, come on, Michael. Be a mud crab.
Right, you want a flame. So there's 5 different designs and then a blank face. The mud crab hits only on the skull and the axe. So he's only got like 3. He missed. So Alex, it's your chance to let's have a look at your character card. Now, you have got your spark spell. If you have a look at the spark spell, you've got 2 choices. You can spend 1 magicka to roll the shock attack, which needs a triangle. It will do 1 magic damage. Or you could spend 2 magicka to get 2 circles, which is slightly harder. And then you can choose to do 2 yellow or 2 purple damage. That will kill him if you do the burst attack because he's only got 2. And just out of interest, the destruction, that blue shape, means if you had the destruction skill, you'd roll an extra dice. So, do you want to do the burst attack?
Yeah, I want to smoke it.
So first, you need to spend your magicka. You've got a little track here. Move your magicka.
So I will spend 2.
Let's go over to the dice.
Anyone in the mood for some delicious smoked crab?
Let's see if you can get 2 of. There's 3 of these shapes, these designs on each dice face. You've got a good chance of doing this.
Oh, 50-50 on 3 dice. Yeah, there you go.
Hey!
So you did your burst attack, which did 2 yellow or 2 purple magic damage. Either of them go straight through his armor and kills him.
Hi, mud crab.
So, and now the benefit of doing a dungeon together is you both get that reward. There's a little symbol at the bottom of the card which says you get 1 experience point for killing the mud crabs. I've given you those.
Wow.
Perfect.
Now, because you've gone, Alex, you can't go next, which is in the next room. So think of these as rooms of the dungeon, right? Or kind of areas, and it's the most dangerous thing. Oh, for one thing you should remember is you replenish your magicka at the end of the encounter, which is the room that you just in. So you can move your magicka token back up to replenish that. You replenish stamina and magicka in a room, but not health. So if you're taking a lot of health damage, it's a bit of a risk. Right, okay, so this is a skeever who's got yellow.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
Not too strong against my chop, is he?
Let's lock that down so we don't move him again. Right. So he's a bit more dangerous. He hits on 3 different symbols. So he's going to hit one in 2. So yeah, time for the Nord. Have you?
Meehan, would you do me the honours of stopping a skeever from eating my face?
Yeah, you can roll the dice for the skeever, Alex. See if he's gonna.
I'm gonna give you a little chew. Right.
Flame.
All good.
No, he missed.
All good.
All good.
Okay. So, Michael, you got to roll the dice. Do you want now? You got 2 choices. Yours is a bit trickier. You can kill him outright with a chop, but
no, don't worry. We're going for a chop. Don't.
Just so you know, it's a riskier one because it needs a diamond. There's only 1 diamond on each dice.
Yeah,
now,
but, you got 3 dice. Yeah.
You can push. You're going to be able to roll 2 more dice using your stamina if you fail. So you potentially can roll 5 dice to get that 1 diamond.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Right.
I believe you can chop up the skeever.
Look, you got a diamond.
Okay, so if I can get 1, you should definitely be able to get 1.
Rado.
Oh, there it is.
Rado run through it, tried to do this the other day, and I think 3 attacks in a row and burning all his stamina failed to get a diamond.
Well, there you go. If you're watching at home, Dicebreaker officially better at chopping than Rado runs through.
Better. So. Definitely, if you need someone to chop, this is your man. Right, you did 4 red damage. Excellent. He's only got 3 yellow, so it goes straight through and you kill him. And guess what? You both get an experience point.
We did kill you, Michael Chops Whelan.
I've got the chops.
You do have the chops.
You only need
so much experience.
7 to level up. So 5 more. Now, okay, so just very quickly, we're going to reset the dungeon deck. So what we do is we take those 2 cards, put the top card from the animal deck on top, shuffle them, and put them back. So that means maybe there's something more dangerous in those in that cave.
Okay.
Right, so the other good thing is you get treasure. Every time you finish a dungeon, you get a piece of treasure.
Yeah.
So, whoever, the Nord did the killing blow, so maybe do the honors.
As the person who did the most damage, I think it's only...
I killed the mud crab. The mud crab not having it.
Dwarven armor.
Hello.
What?
So, now, of course, if you had got a spell, you would probably say, hey, you take this because you need it better. So you probably want to keep that and swap out your iron armor.
Reckon I might equip that one, yeah. Oh, it's
and then
only one
you'll be able
better
to sell the iron armor at some point later. Good. So you just bumped up your armor, which is great. Now that is the end of the turn. You've done your dungeon. You got your XP. You got the treasure. So that's a good thing to remember. Basically, dungeons get you lots of XP. Some of the creatures will give you extra bonuses, and you always get treasure at the end. So good way to find gear, upgrade your kind of amount of gear you've got, or get money by selling it. So it's the next turn. The first player marker moves over to Michael. And now you draw the event card.
Yeah, okay. See what we got. Conspiracy! There are forces working against you. Place a threat token on each quest. And
that means that Call to Arms gets...
Oh, good one, Meehan.
And you each get
that Whiterun.
I would have joined the companions. I'm a fighty girl.
Too late.
Right, so Whiterun just got another threat, and it now is going to cost you 5 septims to enter Whiterun. The gates are shut.
It's fine. No one wants to go there. It sucks. There's a guy there who
do
just
you
keeps
get to
yelling
the Cloud
about
District
stuff.
very often? No, I don't want to. Go away.
No.
That goes into the discard pile.
My
Oh,
bad.
no, that's right. Sorry, that is a discard. So the little white card with a red line through it means you remove the card from the game.
Got it.
So that card won't come back. Okay, so Whiterun is almost in flames. Good start to the game.
I mean, pretty standard stuff.
It was
Skyrim
inevitable. It's
playthrough.
got nothing to do with us.
Yeah, we don't care about them.
Maybe you won't need to go back there. Let's hope. Right, so it's your next turn. You've done a dungeon. What do you want to do next? So, for example, the Nord, you could probably head up to Winterhold and do your quest. And the Altmar, you probably want to get some soul gems. So maybe try going to a wilderness space, or you could go to Moorthorn before you do your quest, do a town event and get some soul gems. Or you could throw Hell's End and just do it without preparing.
I believe it's Mr. Whelan's go first. So
it is, yes. Well, you both move together. You both move. Yeah, so you do movement together.
Oh.
That's where you go, well, look, shall I go over here and do this? And you go here. Right. Should we all meet and do this dungeon together?
How much movement do we get?
You can move 4 spaces, so you could get to Winterhold.
1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4.
go and harass some mages.
Do it.
Hey.
Sorry, there's a lot of mead around here.
Yeah, there's a lot of mead.
Look, there's the ability to push on plant matter. I've got some plant matter. It's all good. Feeling confident about the runaway.
3. Wait, hang on. We came here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Blammo.
And then I'll do a town quest, I think.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's do the Nord first. He's got the first player. Right. Do you want to read your little story?
The place is empty. A neighbour tells me he left in a rush a few weeks back. Inside, I realise he barely had time to gather his belongings. I look around for clues. Objective: open a strange-looking chest. Right, 3 dice plus lockpicking, which I probably don't have.
You don't have.
I'm looking for one triangle, which is pretty easy.
Right? An imperial symbol.
You pick locks by smashing them open.
Yeah. Look, it works.
Roll the dice first, and if you need to push, which is roll more dice.
You can push after the fact.
Okay. Yeah.
Whoa!
Okay.
Very
nice. Push? So you can roll 1 dice at a time, because you don't want to. You don't do it all at the same time.
Let's snort some skooma and get.
You want a diamond? No, a triangle. You want a triangle? You don't.
Oh gosh.
Oh, wheels.
Look, I'm not good at this stuff. Okay, all right. One more.
I mean, you are a Nord.
Yeah. This is true.
Oh
no!
Why couldn't I fight the lock?
He smashes open the lock. So turn the card over and see what happens. So this threat will go away. Oh, sorry.
That's right.
The threat will go away there.
Failure. I open the chest, but a trap destroys its contents.
Oh, you were too heavy-handed.
If you had succeeded, you would have got 5 septims and 2 HP. But as you can see, the story keeps going. But there's a little symbol here, which is the symbol for the blades. So if you come up to the top left of the board, there's a little deck called the blades. And I'm just going to, as you can see, there's different cards in this deck.
Oh, okay.
Now, these are really, 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 just so you feel bad, really, really, really amazing cards. Did I say really, really amazing?
Yeah,
really
I think so.
Very helpful cards that appear later in the game, but you just killed one because of your failure.
Excellent.
Somewhere in Skyrim, the plot has advanced because of your failure.
Because of your heavy-handedness.
That's just
you're drunken.
That would have been Merton the Bloody just fell to the enemy. So, for example, at some point, these get added into the various decks. And if you'd found this card, you would have gained a very powerful follower. Now they're gone. They're dead. That's it. Into the box. And
you destroying that chest killed them, Wills.
Their heart was located in the lock. In a hidden compartment behind the bed, I find a note signed by Corellian, the hunter, addressed to any blades who find it. Someone was on his trail, and he escaped. The note also mentions Moiva's recent activities. He points at Moiva Karnai and her hideout in an abandoned cave in Harfinger. I can either storm the hideout by myself or hire some mercenaries. I'm going to storm the hideout by myself. That sounds like my kind of
I knew you were
vibe.
going to pick that one.
Right, so I'm going to grab 173. Just for people who try this game at home, there's a nice script on the little card that you just
lovely.
type the number in, and it finds it for you, which the guys did a great job coming up with that. Okay, so you get a new quest. That threat has gone away,
Mm-hmm.
and so we move your little quest marker to a cave in Haffinger. There's pretty much one location in every hold of caves and mines. Sometimes it's two. Like in East March, there's a couple of ruins, so you get to choose which one the marker goes on. So you've got to go there. That's the end of your turn. But you are in Winterhold. So tell you what, we're just going to try, because we're not going to play the whole game. So we're just going to show you, if you had, let's say you'd done very well and you've got a bunch of soul gems, yeah? Or we'll do ore for you, actually, because
that sounds about right, yeah.
Let's say you've accumulated some ore. Because you're in the town, you could do an upgrade. You can visit the armorer and get them to improve your dwarven armor or your battle axe. Do you fancy getting better defense or better damage?
Bigger axe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, the axe. You can even make your basic equipment for 2 ore. If you decided you wanted one of those shields that there was there.
Mm-hmm.
It has 2 ore on here, which means you can upgrade it once. So I'm going to spend 2 of your ore and grab a enchantment card, an upgrade card. So look, these are very simple. What we do is we place it there, and as you can see, you get a little bonus. So now you're doing 6 red damage with that chop, which is pretty awesome, right?
Super chop.
And just so you can see how it would have worked if you had gone for the upgrade on the armor, you use the bottom of the card, and look, you've just gained another red armor defense, which is pretty cool.
Sweet.
Okay. And oops. And
Big
then
fan of multi-use cards, me.
Yeah. Well, actually, and then also, look, if you had enchanted it, that's actually really good for you. Gain 1 stamina when receiving any red damage. So the cards have got 3 uses, which is really cool. As a result, there's loads and loads and loads of choices. Now, the other thing, you'd think, well, wait a minute, what if I got an upgrade I didn't like? So you could literally spend another ore to say to the armor, come on, you could do something better. Like, I've seen you've done better for all those other guys wandering around the town. So then you draw another card and pick which one you like better. But also, the Nord, if they learn the smithing skill, smithing lets you draw 2 cards and pick the best one. And also, ore, it's cheaper. You only need 1 less ore to upgrade stuff. Right, okay. That's the Nord's moment in time. So we're going to move across to Alex. The High Elf is currently in Morthal, and you want to do a town card. So let's just go up.
Yeah, I've sauntered into the town and looked around in disgust.
Yeah, so look, if you have a look up top right of the board next to the enchantment and upgrade deck, we've got wilderness cards and town cards. So these are how I'm just going to draw a card for you if you want to turn that over.
Yeah.
Okay. So what have you got?
Orcish chief.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Gullapot. No, Gullapot.
She's struggling with the names today.
Yeah, just look. I'm looking for brave, strong fighters. Well, I'm sorry, you've chosen the wrong person. My people need you. Show me your strength, and you will be rewarded. Why do these guys keep finding me all the time? Like, honestly, look at me, and they're like,
it's that pose you're in. They're just like,
yeah, it's very intimidating.
She looks pretty strong. I'm sure she can help. So look, this is a good example of town and wilderness cards. They always give you a component. So you can choose any one you like now. You've got a choice. Your main quest, you need a soul gem. So you could pick a soul gem. But also the challenge below says if you have some ore, you're going to be able to roll an extra dice. So it might be a good idea to take ore, because if you succeed at this, you're going to be able to get 2 XP and 2 components of any kind.
That's true.
Those are the most prominent symbol on the dice, aren't they? Those Celtic
Yeah,
marks.
I can do this. I suppose I'll take an ore.
Okay.
Right.
Roll the dice. You need
Yeah,
two
let's try and do
circles.
this. Okay. 3. I don't. Of course, I don't have any heavy armor. What do you take me for?
Some kind of ruffian.
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of brigand.
Well, I rolled about 20 of those circle things, so you should be alright. Yeah,
you
there
did
you
it.
go.
You did it.
Hey!
You gain 2 XP and 2 of any components.
I'm gonna get some soul gems, baby.
Right. So grab, if you get 2 soul gems. Oh, I just got you the XP. So
Oh.
yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. So if you grab the soul gems, you got 2 of those.
Mhm.
And now you've got a choice. So you can now take the quest that Yajish is offering, which is quest card 22, or you can be like, nah, I'm done. I'm going to put Yajish back in the discard pile, and he's going to appear, and someone else will get this challenge and can also go through that same challenge with them. So if you take Yajish's quest, then this town card will go away for good.
I will not, because Yazish, it's not my vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've proven myself to be a
All right.
worthy warrior, but it doesn't necessarily mean I want to hang out with them.
If you had to, basic, I mean, I'll just so you can see, I'm going to grab card 22. So just so you can see, this would have been Yajish's quest card. It's a different color, which means it's a personal quest. So it doesn't matter if this card fails from threat. And you can also tell, for people with colorblind difficulties, we put a black dot on the number so you know it's a side quest or personal quest. And this basically gives you another little quest line to...
Well, it's in Whiterun, so I'm glad I didn't do that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that wouldn't have been very
They
good.
don't like me there.
No, I don't like anyone there.
So you've got your soul gems to do your quest, and really that's the game. I mean, we've seen quests, we've seen town cards, and they're similar to event cards. We've seen a dungeon. I'll show you some of the more powerful dungeons and cool treasure that you can get. The one thing that we haven't shown, let's just show you doing an enchantment. So you can enchant your novice robes twice, which is the good thing. They don't take much damage, but you can enchant them twice, and each one costs a soul gem. So let's imagine that you don't need them for your quest. I'm going to grab you. You can do an enchantment whilst you're in town. So here we go. Here's the first one. You spent 1. Oh, look.
Nice.
Fortify Magicka.
Very nice.
So what that does, we put that here. Gain 1 maximum Magicka. So your Magicka has just increased by 1. See that?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I love
Now,
that.
the danger with that is there's a little track along here above the attributes. So you've got your health, stamina, and magicka. What that means is you are now discarding any level 0 monsters in dungeons that you come across. So the game is going to get a bit harder. Now, you can also enchant this again. So let's spend your other one because you can enchant twice.
2 enchantments.
Oh, sneak.
Oh, I can sneak.
Oh,
So if you find a dagger or a sword, you can't sneak with a spell because they're noisy. But if you get a dagger or a sword, then you would be able to do sneak attacks, which is pretty cool.
and I guess that would also help you with any quests that need it, right?
That's right, for sure. So, well, when it says, for example, Rumored at the Inn, your main quest says 3 dice plus illusion. So let's talk about that now. That means actually having the skill illusion. So both of you are almost at your level up. So let's pretend that you're more successful and got some more XP. And you will
Let's
now
pretend you're not as bad as you are.
So you can let's do your first level up. So you level up as soon as you get 7 XP. And at the end of the turn, doesn't matter where you are. So that would mean you go up to the top right of the board, and there's all the skill tokens here. There's loads of skills you can pick. So for the Nord, for example, you might want to get 2-handed, but also 2-handed will give you an extra dice when rolling your axe, which obviously might help you get that bigger attack, the diamond.
That's pretty good.
You could also get heavy armor, which would give you the heavy armor skill. There was one of those quests needed heavy armor, and it also gives you a bonus red damage protection, but I think two-handed is good for you. But also there's speech, alchemy, lock picking. There's all sorts of skills that get used.
I think I could deal with some speech. I seem to be.
Well, for Alex, you've got your spell uses destruction as a skill. But also, if you have your high elf's card, if you learn illusion, then if you have an illusion spell, then you can re-roll that enemy dice in combat. If you learn enchanting, you not only draw 2 cards for enchanting, but you draw an additional 2 cards. So you become the badass enchanter that can enchant everyone else's cards and pick exactly the right enchantments they want.
I mean,
Alex, look at your card, the Nord. If you learn two-handed, not only do you get an extra dice, but then you do 1 extra damage for your two-handed weapons.
God, so imagine the amount of damage I'd be doing with Chop then.
You would be doing 7 red damage.
You would just a mud crab crossing your path.
I'd cook a mud crab.
Yeah,
One foul swoop.
Turn to ash.
So, and then the other thing. So let's just pretend. Let's have a show people back at home what would happen. So let's pick your two-handed token. There you go.
I see. We cover those up.
Yeah, so you cover up, and then you pick one of your attributes to increase. So if you, as you can see, your battle cry, if you lose a health, you can basically attack without being attacked. So remember, they always roll the dice first. So having an extra point of health might be good, because A, you can take more damage, B, you can use your ability more. Of course, having more stamina means you're less likely to run out of stamina. But if you do use all your stamina in a fight, you can then burn health instead of stamina, which is painful, or you can rest and get a couple of stamina back. The other thing with health is people might be like, well, what happens if, do you just die if you take, let's say you've taken 3 points what happens if you take 3 points of wounds there? You can never go past this final block there. Excuse me. What that means is you've got a final wound. If you were here and took 3 wounds, you go 1, 2, and stop. What that means is you've got 1 last chance. So the game is giving you a chance to go, I think I'm going to leave the dungeon at this point. I can't do it. And save yourself. Or I think I've got it. I can kill him. I'm going to take the risk. But then it's on you if you die. Now, dying's not that bad. What happens is you don't lose all your gear, which would be really annoying having just got that cool dwarven armor and upgraded your battle axe. You just respawn in the same area at the end of the turn, but you have to draw 1 threat for every player in the game. And you have to immediately draw an event card because bad things happen. And that event card probably triggers some more threats. So it's generally bad, and the other players are saying, don't do it. Oh, he did it. So
you will, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the experience of playing board games with me, yeah. Very confident man.
Like I said, failing forward. Bad things will happen. You never lose your stuff, you never lose the game. That's your leveling up. And of course, again, as you push up your health, you are also now discarding any lit.
Yeah, the world is leveling up with you.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the dungeon decks to see what kind of crazy monsters you might be up against.
Oh, whoa.
Filthy bandits.
Bandit chief.
Traps. Yeah. Vampires and Draugr. More traps. Dramora. Achanax.
I'm running backwards away from those.
Oh my god.
Firing arrows.
This Dramora, he's got sneak 5. Now, when you do a sneak, you get 3 dice plus any instances of sneak. He's really hard to attack. He's also got ambush, just like the bandits do. That bandits always ambush you. What that means is if you don't sneak them successfully, they will attack first. They get a bonus attack, and then someone has to choose to attack them, and they attack you again. Ooh. So anything with ambush is pretty lethal. So having someone who can sneak and try and attack them first, which will stop them being able to ambush, is really good. There's traps. Now, how do traps work? Anyone can try and stop a trap working. They have a lock picking difficulty, which in this case, so this swinging blade trap is 2. A bit like sneak, but anyone can do it. Of course, if you have the lock picking skill, that will help you get through them. So it's quite useful to get lockpicking. Some items you can get lockpicks, which give you lockpicking bonuses. So if you get the lockpicking result, then you destroy the trap and you get, in this case, as a reward of 3 treasure. If you fail, the trap automatically attacks and does the damage to you. Some of them, there's explosive gas trap, will do damage to everyone in the room.
Gosh.
So they can be dangerous, you know. And then look, this Dwarven Ballista is doing 5 yellow damage. The Spider Worker does 3 magic damage and drains 1 magic.
I really want to recruit this Spider Worker. I love it. Look at it. It's so cute.
If you get the Conjuration spell, you can summon monsters to help you. So the Conjuration spells will tell you which decks you draw from. But for example, you might summon undead. So when you're in a dungeon, you would draw a card from the undead deck, and then as the game is leveling, you're going to get more powerful vampires to help you, maybe.
So that's basically
they fight alongside you. So if you'd summoned a Draugr and you were fighting a vampire, the vampire would roll to hit, and then your Draugr would roll to hit. You can also gain followers, and they act in the same way. So let's say you've recruited Mjol. She's a card that looks just like an enemy like this, but she rolls her dice and can attack. And your followers can't be killed, which is quite useful. So they keep attacking. You can lose them through various circumstances. So that's, look, and imagine this is only up to level 2. We go up to level 5 in enemies, and they are increasingly difficult. Plus, we've got the legendary encounters. These are there's expansion pack that we've unlocked for backers of the Game Found only. It's not going to be in the retail edition. So there's one cool thing if you just have a look at your experience area. So when you fill in all the skills, so you're spending up to 14 to fill the last one in, you can keep going. So you can spend 15 to start turning over each of your skills. So one, you would, for example, turn over 2 to give you 2 dice. You might be thinking, well, why do I need 2 more dice? Because that's going to make it'll be really easy to hit with a battle axe. Well, there are bigger and more exciting treasures. I'm just opening up. Let's have a look.
Oh, wow.
More powerful advanced treasures that you can get. So look, there are ones that require more and more harder results. So for example, the Blizzard attack needs drown, to do 5 damage, but it's a diamond. So it's going to help make it easier and easier for you to get those harder abilities. So look, you've got lockpicks that give you dice for lockpicking. You've got cool bows. You've got an amulet that gives you extra dice for speech. All sorts of cool things.
Funny. So
these are all the types of this is just a sampling of the treasures you can get. There's a cool firebolt for you. The Blizzard spell is very powerful, but costs a lot of magicka, so you were going to really need to bump up your magicka. So that's leveling up. Oh yes, as I mentioned, as soon as one of you turns over the first skill to a legendary skill, with this exclusive expansion, you're going to then gain a legendary encounter. That is a very, very, very powerful level 5 enemy. Think of it as a boss level encounter that's going to go into one of the decks, and you're going to have to face them at some point in a dungeon. If you do, and they're things like an Ancient Frost Atronach, a Arch Necromancer, a Dwemer Centurion army. We're talking really big encounters. And once you defeat them, you'll gain a really, really powerful, famous artifact like Sun's armor or the drain spell bow. So that's really, really fun. And we've got lots of other upgrades going into that exclusive expansion. The Dawnguard expansion adds some new mechanics. As I mentioned, you'll notice you've got a slot for statuses. So if you steal a horse, you might be wanted in a certain area and face guards. If you go there, you can gain vampirism. Vampirism gives you some cool powers. Basically, we now get a day-night mechanic. So every turn, the event cards will tell you whether it's day or night. And in the day, you're weaker. At night, you're stronger. And every day you go without feeding, you get more and more powerful. But you cause more and more chaos. So if you've gone without feeding for, say, 2 days, you can't go into towns, you can't use the markets because they're like, you're a freaking vampire, like, get away from me. And
you look creepy, yeah.
you can't even, and after 3 days, you can't even enter towns because, like, you're a monster, go away. We're driving you off. But you get very powerful, you get loads of extra damage, you get cool spells to use, all sorts of powers. So
will dragons be included in the game?
They will. Well, if you look at Wandering Monsters, actually, we haven't seen a Wandering Monster card, so let's have a. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a Wandering Monster card. There's a. This is an example that it tells you to move a vampire token towards the nearest stronghold, and if there isn't one, add one to the board. So we've got some vampires here, and there's also dragons. Of course, dragons don't turn up until the time of the Dragonborn, because the big dragon Alduin is running around resurrecting them. So, but there are dragons, and also the From the Ashes expansion adds a massive dragon campaign that it sees you running around Skyrim fighting all sorts of big dragon battles. So the way the Wandering Monsters work is this would tell you to place one on a, let's place him down here. We want him to be far away from a hold. Some cards will tell them to move, and if they do move into a hold, they get killed, but in the battle they cause damage to the town. So that would, in this case, added a third threat to Whiterun, and Whiterun would now start generating threat. You can help the towns by paying 5 septims. You can help them reduce the threat level, so it's not the end of the world. But later event cards will add more. So this one only adds a vampire if there's none on the board. Later event cards will add vampires and all the vampires move, or add, move all the dragons and another dragon appears. And if you run out of a certain wandering monster, the chapter's over and you move on to the next chapter because there's too much chaos.
As you probably expect from a Bethesda-based board game, there is a lot of stuff. Loads of stuff to get your teeth into.
And these, you can switch these out for miniatures in the miniatures upgrade kit. So you get lots of cool minis for the Thalmor and cultists and Daedra and trolls and dragons.
Yeah, so. I mean, I was just going to ask. I think we'll probably have to cut the video there because I think if we talk about all the content, we'll be here for hours.
Yeah, we have. I mean, I said that's it. The rules are pretty straightforward. Where we've tried to do is have the complexity in the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got, like, I think we've worked out with the base game and Dawnguard, you've got about 27 hours for a playthrough. As you can see, you could play this very first scenario for probably about 2 to 3 hours, and the bigger scenarios you can play longer if you want, or you can focus and play a much faster.
All right, well, we'll call it there then, Chris. Thank you very, very much for showing us all this. Please do let us know where we can find more about Skyrim the board game and Modiphius themselves.
Well, you can find us at /Modiphius at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. The GameFound project, so you want to go to gamefound.com, and we're on the front page there. You can find the Skyrim Adventure Game project there. It's got, I think it's, we end on December the 5th, so we've got lots of cool stuff still to unlock. There's this exclusive expansion for the base game, which is £68. The base game will be £100. At least at retail, and this should be shipping around about August of next year.
Perfect. All right, thanks very much for joining us. We will call it there, and if you want to see more from us, you can of course follow us on all of our socials, which will be linked in the description below, as well as having links to all of the stuff that you can find out about Skyrim, including that GameFound page. You can also find more of us on Dicebreaker.com, where we've got loads of fantastic articles from people like Alex Meehan about Skyrim the board game and all sorts of tabletop things, if that is what you would like to see more of. And last but not least, of course, please do hit subscribe, hit the like icon, hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we put a new video live, and we'll see you on the next video. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.